Hello everybody and welcome back into the Bear's Den for a super hot pepper garden update. I'm losing the tripod this time because that was just weird doing the intro, and I didn't like it. I like doing my intros in my hand, so, you know, this isn't an angle you care for. Sorry man, you're gonna have to cope. Starting off over at the seedling tray here, I am still waiting on those crimson reds. And, well, a few other things here. I got some sweet heat seeds that just aren't popping up. I've got some red ghost scorpion seeds here that haven't quite popped up yet. However, good news is the reaper seeds that came at the same time, one of those has already popped up. Still waiting on the mango. For some reason, these Scotch bonnets are just not sprouting for me. So I think I'm going to need to get some new Scotch bonnet seeds. Over on the table here, some of the houseplants have moved upstairs. Looks like this snake plant is going to be staying up here pretty much permanently. Here's that avocado. Finally sprouted and looking fantastic, but it doesn't fit in the windowsill anymore, so it had to come up. Having similar issues with this little lemon tree that we're growing from a seed here. Again, it doesn't quite fit in the windowsill. These broad leaves are just making it a bit of a pain to go around those blinds. And here's that, I believe it's an umbrella plant, umbrella tree, coming up here to get some better light, sort of a plant spa, if you will. And then over here, under the regular hardware bulbs, we have a few peppers. These are all the purple freaks. I think this one here in the back is a purple freak too, really. Let's just check that. Yep, purple freak. Looking pretty good though. So I don't know for sure what's going to come out of those, but it's always fun finding out, you know. What do we got here? Caramel Moruga Scorpion hiding out under the light, trying to stretch a little bit so I can cut the top off of it and branch it out, push it up a little. Let's check out the shelf here. Some more houseplants here. We've got the black lace elderberry cutting. This one appears to be doing quite well. The one downstairs totally died. Back here we have the red currant. I turned this around just yesterday and it's already facing back to the light, so it's clearly doing just fine. Got my little asparagus here. It's cutting from the flaming caddy. Hasn't fallen over or wilted or died yet anything, so I'm hoping it's doing okay. And here we have one of the rooted cuttings from the Borealis Hascap bush. Just brought these bushes in for the winter so they can get nice and sturdy. Ah, this tragedy here. This is a sweet heat that I pulled from out in the pepper patch, because it was looking pretty nasty out there, and it's just proceeding to look nastier and nastier as time goes on. So I'm going to pull this one, I think. We'll just put it over on the table for now. And I'm going to transplant into there one of the ones from the next shelf we look at. But before we go on to that, here are two cuttings from the Red Demon out front. I thought I would just plunk these straight into the soil with some 10-52-10 and hope that they would root that way. It doesn't look positive. Doesn't look positive at all. Pepper cloning. That's my bane. Next shelf. So we have this shelf growing under the 14-watt circular light there. That one there that like I said before, I don't think I'll be picking up again. But it does seem to be doing a good job with the plants that it's got. I just don't like the way the light falls from it. It's kind of hard to work with. Let's see what we've got here. I think this is a Nepalese bell that I already topped. So I'm hoping to see some bushing from this, because the Nepalese bell are all seeming to get fairly tall for me. So one of the red Trinidad scorpions, one of the red Moruga scorpions here. This is my yellow fatale, one of the two that I've got inside here. Trinidad scorpion yellow back there, and then this guy here is a Trinidad scorpion Butch T red. I think this is what's going to go into that planter, because look how well that orange habanero looks since it's been transplanted. At the same time, look who are back and causing me problems. Grr! I tried the neem oil and it just made a funky sort of white mold grow on the surface of my soil. This time around I'm using sunlight dishwashing liquid in some water, and it does seem to be slowing them down, but I'm thinking maybe I need to put more sunlight in the water, because it's certainly not killing them off. But they're not getting too heavily infested, not doing too much damage. And like I say, look how well that habanero is doing. So the Trinidad Scorpion Butch T Red, I think, will definitely be going into that other pot. You know what, let's do that now before I forget. Well, that looks like a happier plant already. I did hit it up with the soapy water because I did find a bunch of aphids on there. So now I'm going to need to rearrange my light because, like I said, I'm not happy with the way that light falls. Anyway, we'll move on. I'll do that once we're done here. Into the nursery box. Now, with the light off, we can see these a little bit better. On the left here, we have 2 different types of sage that are sprouting. Up on the top here, we have 2 different types of basil that I'm sprouting for the kitchen downstairs. I'm not sure what this pepper is, to be perfectly honest. Let's check it out. What do we have here? Hungarian yellow wax pepper. That seems to be doing well under this nursery light. And then beside that Hungarian wax, we have the Carolina Reaper that has just popped up. So I put it under the nursery light. And then we have mixed mini bells and orange fugo. Now, it is worth noting and pointing out that this particular light seems to have a lot more blue in it than the ones on either side. You notice that's kind of a purpley light, this is kind of a reddy light, and that's kind of a pinky light. So, the reason I mention that is because I owe somebody 10 points. Now, the reason I owe somebody 10 points is because I can't quite remember who it is, so I do apologize for that. But it was explained to me early on when I first got these LEDs that because of the tendency more towards the red than the blue, it was going to make a lot of my plants go to flower. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. It's going to be fine for veg. Well, as it turns out, some of these little tiny pepper plants are trying to produce flowers. So I need to find some more blue light spectrum that I can throw in there because I want them to grow. I don't want them to flower yet. They're way too small to support that kind of stuff. Here is one of the 2 super chili seedlings that I've got. You know, it's clearly doing quite well. I probably need to spray it for aphids, but stop shaking, you little plant. If you look in the middle there, that is the beginning of flower nubs and an aphid. But yeah, this plant is way too... Focus. This plant is way too little to support that, so I'm going to have to go in there and cut those off. And, you know, we'll see where it goes from there, but... yeah. I found another one, too, that looks like it's also kind of starting to go to flower. Let's see if I can find that again. So this is one of the purple freaks. And, stop bouncing, little plant. Way down in the heart of that there is, again, the beginning of flowers. Now, this one I don't mind so much because at least I can find out what kind of pepper it's going to be, other than purple freak, but I don't think these plants in general are ready to produce flowers yet. So what I need from the pepper loving community out there, I'll put this back in its spot, is some advice on how to stop these guys from going to flower while they're under such a red light. As you can see, for the most part, they're growing really well. I mean, I've got some crumpled up wrinkly leaves here, so I think I might be going a little too heavy on the fertilizer. But at the same time, a lot of these leaves look fantastic. Here are my 3 little Kung Pao hybrid seedlings. They're really enjoying the light, but I sure don't want those going to fruit just yet. There's another Nepalese bell in the back. Very tall sort of pepper plant, that one. Brazilian ghost beside it, and then we've got, I think that's another yellow fatale right there. Over on the other side here, we've got another one of the Trinidad Scorpion Butch T Reds. This thing's doing great. Let me bring it out. I only had 2 that sprouted of the 6 seeds that I planted for this, but they're both doing exceptionally well. So I've got no complaints for the quality of the plant that they're producing, that's for sure. Here's one of the Trinidad Scorpion Reds from that shelf. Again, they're looking really good under those lights, but I am very concerned about their trying to go to fruit. So, yeah. I have semi-permanently mounted these to the underside of the shelf above these plants. And that does seem to be working, but I don't want them to flower yet. Of course, I don't want the aphids either, so you don't always get what you want, do you? So yeah, it looks like the aphid wars are back on, and yeah, I definitely owe somebody 10 points for that, making me aware that they would be going to fruit because of the color of those lights. I appreciate the warning. I am terribly sorry. I can't remember which of you viewers it was. I try really hard to keep these things in mind, but you know, there are a lot of comment threads that I end up replying to, and that's awesome too. I love all the advice from you guys and just the words of encouragement and everything. It's absolutely fantastic. You are a wonderful community of viewers, and I love and thank every single one of you, even you guys that creep and don't comment. But feel free to comment. It's fun. Join the conversation. So that is a quick look at what's going on up here in the Bear's Den hot pepper grow room upstairs in our house. I do have some changes to make, and it does look like things are growing along fairly nicely. But for now, I have got to head out because I have got a pepper trade going on. I'm sending off some seeds and hopefully receiving some peach sugar rush. So that should be cool. And I believe there's some Bahut, B-H-U-T, Bahut? I don't know. Somebody can tell me how to pronounce that, perhaps? Because I know if I ask Google to do it, it's going to sound too weird and become not a word in no time at all. So anyway, I have to get to the mailbox and get my part of those seeds off in the mail. What was I going to say about seeds? Oh, yes! I am rapidly approaching 9,000 subs, and that's freakish. I can't believe that. I never even expected 9, so 9,000 is crazy. And at that point, I am going to be giving away pretty much all of the remaining Purple Freak seeds that I have. I'm keeping my St. Thomas Bane seeds because, you know, it's a fun little pepper. But for the most part, I'm giving away the rest of those freaks. So if you're interested, keep your eye on the next few videos. One of them is going to have the details about how I'm going to run that giveaway. Probably going to give away 3 or 4 little baggies of those seeds because I do have quite a few. And I'd like to spread them out there amongst people and just kind of see what results you get. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Going to be running that soon once I have a little bit more of it figured out. And yeah, what is it, Wednesday today? I have no idea what further updates are coming this week, so let's just say for sure, I will see you guys on Sunday. Have an absolutely fantastic week until then, everybody. Take care.